Pause with me. One slow breath, all the way in, all the way out. Notice where you are, the floor beneath your feet, the light in this room, the ordinary objects that map your life. This, right here, is not random scenery. It's a meeting point prepared in advance, where time brushes against the edge of the timeless. Think of every detour, each not yet, the long loops you didn't understand. They have led you like quiet rivers to this exact bend. If you've ever wondered whether you're late or early, hear this instead. You are right on time. The calendar on your wall didn't schedule it, but your spirit did. There is a presence in the ordinary, steam rising from a mug, the faint hum of the world outside, that is leaning toward you as if to say, I've been waiting. And if you're tempted to dismiss this as coincidence, consider how many small turns had to align for you to hear these words now. What if your life has never been a pile of loose pages, but a chapter arriving at its first clear sentence? For a long time you've lived beside yourself, busy and brave, but only half listening. Today something shifts. The sacred reaches into the everyday, and the everyday reaches back. Stay with that breath. Let it anchor you. This moment is not passing you by. It is opening on purpose for you, marked and moving into a new season. There is a mark on you, and no shadow can rub it out. Call it protection if you like, but it is also a signal. Rise, be seen, be safe. The long hush of waiting is closing. The hard campaign is losing ground, and the clock that once felt stalled begins to move. You may not hear the announcement with your ears, but your name is being spoken in rooms you cannot enter and realms you cannot diagram. You have been carried through a winter where words froze before they formed. Now the thaw is underway. What once required shouting will answer to a whisper. Your life has been on hold in obvious ways, projects deferred, doors half open, conversations that never quite landed. Don't misread that season as absence. It was a recalibration, a retuning of your interior until it could hold what is coming without spilling. Some will sense it before you do. A double take in their eyes, an unexplained warmth in their voice, because people notice when gravity shifts. The most ordinary spaces will feel subtly different as you enter, like a room after windows are raised. This is not about spotlight or performance, it's about alignment. When the right gear finally catches, the whole machine runs quiet and strong. So take inventory. What belongs to the silence can stay behind. What belongs to the coming work moves forward with you. You are stepping from background noise into clear signal. The season has turned, when the unseen starts to move. Obedience is not glamorous, but it is catalytic. You said yes in small ways, kept a promise no one tracked, chose patience when anger felt faster, told the truth when a smoother lie would have passed. Those quiet yes have been negotiating on your behalf where your eyes could not go. Obstacles that looked like granite have hairline fractures now. Pathways that seem like rumors are stamping themselves into roads. You may still see the same hallway, the same closed door, but the hinges have loosened in the night. There's also a mark within you, call it a seal, a signature, that the visible world doesn't register, but the invisible does. That is why the right conversations find you without elaborate strategy. Why a sentence you speak casually lands with unusual weight. Why fatigue sometimes falls off you like an old coat for no apparent reason. This is not placebo comfort, is activation. To test it, notice what shifts when you speak peace into a tense moment or hope into a weary one. Watch how outcomes bend toward mercy as if nudged by a quiet wind. None of this makes you superhuman. It makes you synchronized. When the inner life and the larger story agree, friction lessens and momentum appears. Keep saying yes in the small. Keep stepping even when the lights are low. You are not forcing doors, you are walking through the ones that were quietly unlocked for you. Why the hard parts mattered. You have collected questions like stones in a pocket. Why that loss? Why that delay? Why did a door swing shut right before the breakthrough? Here is a gentler reading of those chapters. You were not discarded, you were detoured. Detours are not punishment, they are conservation. Precious things are moved under cover until they are strong enough to stand in the open. Your identity was never misfiled. It was kept unadvertised because premature exposure risks damage. That is why some relationships thinned without dramatic endings, why certain offers evaporated at the final hour, why applause went quiet when you could have used a cheer. Not every no was rejection. Many were protection from a room not ready for what you carry, or a room you weren't meant to carry at all. Think of the seed that splits underground. From the surface, it looks like nothing is happening. Below, everything is. Roots were being braided. Capacity was being carved. Endurance was getting its long muscles. You were being set apart, not set aside. If the path felt narrow, it was because it was training you to choose the essential. If loneliness visited, it was tutoring you to recognize the voice that will guide you next. The headline is simple. Nothing was wasted. The closed doors gave shape to your calling, and the slower pace taught you how to walk it without losing yourself. The weariness you carry, and the yes over your life. There's a kind of tire that sleep cannot fix. It settles in the chest, not the muscles, a heaviness earned in long fights with few witnesses. If that's you, you are not weak, you are a veteran. You kept praying when language frayed and tears did the talking. You held to what you'd heard even when evidence camped on the other side. You stayed standing, sometimes by leaning against the last quiet promise you had. That devotion did not vanish into the dark. It was seen, meaning counted, honored, answered. The seal over your life is not theoretical. It is recognition that your faith survived weather meant to strip it. Consider this an affirmation, not a pep talk. You are claimed. That claim does not make you superior, it makes you steady. It does not excuse you from effort, it empowers your effort to matter. When fear tries to draft you back into its armies, remember how many times it has already lost. When cynicism offers to protect you from disappointment, remember the days you made it through without its help. Your story is not being graded by the loudest critic, but by the quiet endurance that kept you human when bitterness knocked. Let the old shame retire. It is past its expiration date. Let rest become part of your courage, not the opposite of it. And as you breathe again, slow in, slow out, hear the verdict rise in your own bones. Still here, still chosen, still moving. No longer ordinary, and the warning not to turn back. There comes a point when you can no longer pass through life unnoticed. You've carried quietness for years, but something in you has shifted. You're not ordinary anymore, not in the way the world measures it. When people look at you, they may not even know why they sense difference, but it's there. With that visibility comes a warning. Don't go back. Don't return to the places that drained you, even if they feel familiar. Don't reopen doors that once led to your peace being stolen. We all have moments when nostalgia calls us back to what almost destroyed us. But if you return, you risk losing the inner calm that was so hard-won. Ask yourself, do I really want to relive what I begged to be freed from? Your answer already lives in your bones. It's a no. This is not the time to shrink into who you once were, to invest in old stories that left you restless. Step forward without apology. Every return to chaos costs you peace, and peace is the currency you cannot afford to spend lightly. A new power and the shift of atmosphere. Today is not like yesterday. Something has been handed to you that you didn't have before, a new capability. It may not be flashy. No fireworks, no spotlight. But watch carefully. Your words carry more weight. Your presence rearranges the atmosphere. Conversations that once dragged suddenly turn. Spaces heavy with tension soften. Outcomes shift in your favor. This is what happens when power moves from being theory to becoming lived reality. And here's the key. It wasn't given for performance, it was given for transformation. You don't need to prove it to anyone. You don't need to convince people that something has changed. They will feel it when you walk in. Test it quietly. Speak peace where conflict brews. Notice how arguments deflate. Speak hope into someone's despair. Watch their shoulders lift. This is not manipulation, it's resonance. You've been entrusted with a frequency that cuts through noise. Use it with care. Don't waste it on shallow displays. This is power for healing, power for shifting, power for bringing clarity where confusion lived. And if you honor it, it will grow stronger. The time is now. How long do I have to wait? Maybe you've whispered that into the dark. When will my turn come? When will this pain finally make sense? The answer has arrived, and it's simple. Now. Not someday, not after another round of proving yourself. Now. The meaning that felt so hidden is showing itself. The purpose that seemed delayed is stepping into daylight. You've spent months, maybe years, thinking you were late to your own story. But what if the waiting wasn't wasted? What if it was the soil for this exact moment? The time isn't approaching, it's here. Your questions aren't dangling anymore. They are beginning to resolve into clarity. This doesn't mean life gets easy. It means life gets aligned. And alignment feels like timing finally catching up to truth. Take hold of it. Don't stall. Don't water down what you've been given. Don't use this breakthrough as decoration. It's not for display, it's for living. And when you live it, fully, unapologetically, you'll see the road that once felt invisible unfolding beneath your feet. The waiting room has closed. You are being called into the stage of your own becoming, living with responsibility and focus. Recognition is not the finish line, it's the assignment. To be seen is not just a compliment, it's a commissioning. What's been placed on you comes with responsibility. From now on, the challenge is not just to celebrate being marked, but to guard your mind from distractions that pull you off course. The world is full of detours that look like shortcuts. They offer comfort without growth, attention without depth. You can't afford to take them. This season is about protecting the lane you've been given, about keeping your focus sharp. Ask yourself often, does this path serve the purpose I've been entrusted with? Or is it just noise? You are not only recognized, you are appointed. That means your yes, and your no matter more than ever. Every choice is a seed, and seeds don't stay hidden forever. They break ground, they show fruit. From now on, your protection comes not just in being unseen, but in being guided. You don't walk alone. You are covered in a way that allows you to keep moving without fear. Your job is to stay steady, to keep the compass pointed toward the call, emerging from hiding, wrapped in peace. There was a season when invisibility felt like your identity. People overlooked you, misunderstood you, underestimated you. But that cloak is falling away. You are no longer hidden. What once felt like exile was really incubation, and the time of emerging has come. Yet notice what rises with you: peace. Not the fragile kind that depends on circumstances, but the deep shield that stands guard over your heart. Peace is now your armor. The things that once shook you, sudden criticism, shifting relationships, unexpected losses, will not carry the same weight. Fear that used to grip your choices will no longer hold permission. You've been rewired. Those who knew you only by your struggles may not even recognize you. They'll wonder, what happened? And you won't need to explain. The change speaks for itself. Transformation doesn't need an argument, it needs evidence. And you are the evidence. Step forward without trembling. You're not returning as the same version of yourself. You're emerging as someone steadied, guarded, grounded. The hiding has ended, not because the world is suddenly safe, but because you are now strong enough to walk in your place without losing your peace. Lifted, cleared, and needing no defense. You don't have to explain yourself anymore. Every rumor, every half-truth, every careless sentence, none of it is the editor of your life. The verdict has already been rendered in a place deeper than comment threads and side conversations, cleared to move forward, set apart for purpose. Think about how much energy you've spent trying to be understood. What if that energy could be converted into building what you were born to build? You are not obligated to stand trial in courts that never had jurisdiction. The elevation coming to your life won't arrive by clever networking or perfect messaging. It will arrive the way sunrise does, quietly, undeniably, and without anyone's permission. So release the old reflex to defend, explain, persuade. The work will testify. The fruit will speak. When doors open, let them. When honors come, hold them loosely, knowing who placed them in your hands. Humility isn't pretending you're small. It's remembering the source is large. Walk on, light but steady, and let the noise lag behind. You're moving at the speed of calling now, not the speed of opinion. And the path ahead doesn't need a press release. It needs your faithful steps. This is the moment where you trade anxiety for assignment, where you let vindication be a byproduct, not the goal. Keep your eyes forward. The one who lifts you sustains you, and what is rightly given cannot be stolen by whispers. Your holy difference and a clear, useful mind. Let's talk about that feeling of being different. For years you've translated it as defect. What if it's direction? Your clarity of thought, your deep sensitivity. These are not liabilities, they are instruments. They ring before danger arrives. They glow when truth is near. Yes, lies try to colonize your thinking at your weakest. Labels like too much, too fragile, unstable. But notice, the labels never fit on your strongest days. A clear mind is not cold. It's compassionate enough to sort signal from noise. When you sense the atmosphere in a room before anyone speaks, you're not being dramatic. You're picking up data most people ignore. Use it. Let discernment guide your pace, your yes, your no. Ask better questions. What is actually true here? What is simply loud? Where is the peace? That inner compass isn't magic, it's maturity. It points you toward purposeful risks and away from expensive distractions. I've learned this the hard way. Emotion without clarity burns out. Clarity without compassion freezes over. But together, they become wisdom. Protect your mind the way you protect your passwords. Guard the inputs. Curate what earns your attention. And when old accusations knock, remind them that your thoughts are now under new management. The goal is not to feel less, it's to feel cleanly. Not to think more, to think truthfully. Your difference is not an apology. It's an assignment, one that keeps you awake to what matters and agile for the work ahead. Shifts in the unseen and a new momentum. Something has changed in the places you can't map. Charges dropped, chains cut. The rules that used to restrict, you no longer apply. Freedom isn't merely the absence of pressure, it's the presence of purpose. You weren't just released, you were launched. Watch what happens when you speak honestly with the one who knows you. Responses come, not always as fireworks, but as alignments. Traffic parts, timing clicks. When you tell the truth out loud, other people's shackles shake, because truth makes a sound in the soul. This is why integrity matters now more than ever. Authority rides on alignment. You're not angling for influence, you're embodying it. Keep your ears tuned for simple instructions. Reach out. Wait. Step in. Step back. These small obediences braid into momentum. If you doubt it, run a quiet experiment this week. Carry peace into a space that is usually tense, then watch the temperature drop. Offer forgiveness where resentment felt justified, then see what realities reorganize themselves. This isn't superstition, it's participation. You are not fighting for a platform, you are answering a call. And when call and character meet, movement happens within you first, then around you. The unseen has already moved. Let your outer life catch up. Walk as if the door is truly unlocked, because it is. Speak as if your words matter, because they do. Purpose is not waiting at the finish line, is strapped to your feet right now. Walking in authority without performance. Where you go, lesser things must make room. That's not arrogance, it's order. Darkness doesn't negotiate with light, it retreats. Your presence isn't ornamental, it is operative. You carry a permission slip that says, clarity here, courage here, compassion here. Use your voice sparingly and precisely, the way a surgeon uses a scalpel. Authority is not volume, it is weight. When you speak hope, speak it like a vow. When you confront what harms, do it without venom. You are not auditioning. You're participating in a plan larger than your resume. People may try to bait you into proving yourself. Don't. Demonstrations are for classrooms. Transformation is for rooms that need healing. Ask yourself in each space, what serves freedom here? What honors truth here? Sometimes it will mean saying less and standing longer. Sometimes it will mean naming the elephant with a steady, kind sentence. Either way, you are not there to perform. You are there to shift the climate. Remember this too. Authority travels best with humility. Keep your knees bent and your heart soft. Celebrate quietly what changes because you showed up, and grieve honestly what doesn't, then keep moving. Your assignment is not to impress the darkness, it's to outlast it. Carry your light like a tool, not a trophy. And when the room breathes easier, leave it better than you found it, and go on to the next. Making room for a larger assignment. Growth requires space. You feel it already, the nudge to expand your borders, to loosen ties that kept you in rooms too small for the message you carry. This isn't abandonment, it's alignment. Some connections are for a chapter, not the whole book. Honor them, then step into wider fields. Your story is becoming a toolkit for others. Words polished by honest struggle, lessons learned at full price, silences that speak with more mercy than speeches. Share them. Mentor someone who is standing where you once stood. Put language to the confusion you had to navigate without a map. This expansion is not ego, it's service. You're not moving for visibility, you're moving for reach, so that hope can travel farther through you. Ask bold questions. Where am I needed next? Which habits keep my life small? What can I release so the essential can breathe? You'll notice as you make room, that provision keeps pace, resources, relationships rest. And the more you pour out, the more clearly you'll know what's yours to carry and what isn't. You're becoming a signpost, not a destination, a guide who points beyond yourself. Let that free you from pressure. Your task is to be faithful and clear, not famous and crowded. Pack light, wisdom, courage, compassion. Then move toward the horizon that's been calling your name. Others will find their way because you refuse to stay confined. Sacred protection and breaking old patterns. There is a shield around you now, stronger than anything you've carried before. It's not just safety, it's strategy. Worries that once hijacked your thoughts no longer reach you. Heaviness that used to weigh down your chest can't sit on you anymore. It's as if you've been hidden in plain sight, invisible to the powers that once stalked your peace. Family burdens that felt generational, repeating like a cycle you couldn't escape. Those chains are snapping. You're not destined to repeat old stories. You've been cut from that cloth and sewn into something new. And yes, the opposition tried to track you, but they lost your trail. That is what divine protection looks like. Not just escape, but rerouting. You are walking a different road, one that was carved so carefully that nothing can follow without permission. Stop worrying about the ghosts of yesterday. They cannot touch who you are becoming. Stand tall in this shield. Recognize that you've been kept, not just spared. The same hedge that surrounds you is the same light that exposes what isn't meant to walk beside you. So keep moving. The barrier isn't to imprison you, it's to free you. Holy light and how others react. Light doesn't ask permission to shine. It simply reveals what is there. And that is what you carry now. A holy light that uncovers truth, burns away shadows, and awakens what has been asleep. But light makes some people uncomfortable. It unsettles those who prefer to stay hidden. So don't be surprised if your presence draws mixed reactions. Some may feel drawn to you, others may withdraw in silence. Some may mock or resent, not because you've done anything wrong, but because your clarity exposes their lack of depth. You may even find yourself criticized more sharply when you speak truth with kindness. That's the paradox of carrying light. It comforts the sincere and irritates the insincere. But remember this, their discomfort is not your failure. It's simply evidence that your presence is working. Think of salt in a wound. It stings, but it heals. Your role is not to dim down so others can stay comfortable. Your role is to stand steady, to let light do what light does. Those meant to grow will lean in. Those unwilling will step back. Either way, you are not defined by reactions. You are defined by radiance. Guarding boundaries, refusing to shrink. You don't need to apologize for the size of your light. You don't need to shrink to fit in rooms you've outgrown. Too often we trade peace for acceptance or strength for approval, forgetting that both are temporary currencies. Your boundaries are holy ground. Guard them. Protect your rest as fiercely as your work. Protect your inner quiet as carefully as your commitments. Time is your most valuable resource. Spend it with intention. And when others question why you've pulled back or become more selective, let them wonder. You don't owe explanations for protecting what is sacred. The truth is, your life is being positioned for something public, something visible. And when that moment comes, the very people who misunderstood your distance will see the fruit of your discipline. Boundaries are not selfish, they are stewardship. When you say no, you're saying yes to the assignment that matters most. Don't dim yourself to keep others at ease. Let them adjust your light or step aside. Either way, your path stays clear. Identity secured and moving forward. You no longer need to chase recognition or buy approval. The place you stand has been assigned, not negotiated. It isn't for sale and can't be revoked. That means you're free from the exhausting race to blend in or to earn belonging. You were never called to be wallpaper. You were called to be a voice, a leader, a presence. And leadership in its truest form doesn't scream for attention. It simply stays faithful when others drift. Keep your integrity even when it costs you. Keep your humility even when you're lifted higher. When critics bait you to react, don't. Silence is often the most powerful rebuttal. The truth is, when the time of elevation arrives, no one will be able to stop it. Not whispers, not jealousy, not even your own doubts. You'll realize then what was always true. Your place was secured before you even walked into the room. Move forward like someone who knows where they belong. With steady eyes, a soft spirit, and a spine of steel. A life directed by purpose. This moment you're in is not coincidence. Every step, even the painful ones, was preparation. You've been led here deliberately, pulled away from old cycles, redirected when you tried to settle, protected when you didn't even know you were in danger. Now the assignment is clear. End what needs ending. Awaken what's been sleeping and walk differently than before. This isn't about perfection, it's about direction. Speak differently. Live differently. Let your choices echo what's been entrusted to you. You are wrapped in divine nearness, marked for this season, and shielded in ways you may never fully see. Your role is to keep walking it out with courage. So breathe deep, release what was, step into what is, and know this: you are not alone, you are not overlooked, and you are not ordinary. You are guided, covered, and chosen for such a time as this.